Hi, math families. I'm Mrs. Ruggioni. Thank you so much for watching my back to school night video. I'm sorry that there's not a live portion of the presentation tonight. I'm currently still out, but tomorrow I will be back and ready to go with the students. So, again, thank you so much for your support and your flexibility since the start of the school year. So, this is my virtual classroom. As you look around, you can see a few things about me. I did graduate from Ohio State. I currently live down in Summers Point. I'm from Ocean City area, so I still live down here. I'm married and I have two dogs. You can see their pictures on in the picture frames on the shelf over there. I'm super excited for fall, everything fall, pumpkins, you name it. And you can see my love for all Philadelphia sports. And I also included a little cow stuffed animal because that's something that I've always loved since I was little. The kids always call me the crazy cow lady teacher. I volunteer for an animal sanctuary right down the road. So we rescue abused and neglected animals, and it's something that I really enjoy doing. So, again, I really just want to thank all of you for watching this video tonight. And I cannot thank you enough for your patience and support so far this year. I know that it has been an unusual transition to the start of the school year. And again, with the changes of the schedules, your flexibility and support is just so greatly appreciated. And I really am looking forward to all of us working together and keeping those lines of communication open. So taking a look, this is me when I was in 5th grade. Very dated, as you can tell, side ponytail, crimped hair. But taking a look, you can see these are all of the things that I'm involved in during our school year. So you can see that I am certified with a middle school math certificate. I've been teaching since 2007 and in Franklinville since 2009. I started my career off at Main Road School, and then this is my 6th year now at Ritter School teaching math. I'm part of the math curriculum writing committee. I'm part of the math committee, as well as I am the 5th grade team leader for STEM. I'm part of our school leadership committee, as well as this summer, I worked on the Ritter pandemic response team. And with that, I was part of the operations subcommittee. So I try to be very involved in everything that's going on in the school, whether it's math related or not. So I know that the schedules have been quite confusing for you. And I apologize for that, but I think that, over time it should get easier. So, depending on what class you're in, you can see that there's a main time for class and then there's scheduled small group times. So, again, if you have me for first switch, you'll see those times over there on the left. If I have you for second switch, they're in the middle. And then on the right side, you'll see the third switch class times. I'll make sure that these times are always posted to our Google Classroom for the ease of your child as well as you to double check on when they should be joining me for math. And then down below, you can see that lunch is around noontime each day. And then movement slash communications. I know that there was a lot of confusion about that, and I'm so sorry. The movement time is for your child to take a brain break, get away from staring at the computer screen, stretch their legs, just to kind of step away from school and regroup. And again, it's listed for teachers as communication because that's our opportunity to reach out to parents that, we might need to talk to, as well as the kids can use that time to reach out to us. But then you can see that it's followed up with math office hours. And this is really important because this is going to allow your child to reach out to me, whether through email or maybe they want to set up a Google Meets where I can give them more support in whatever we're doing with math. Or I could be reaching out to them and saying, hey, I noticed that you made this mistake. Let me go over this problem with you again. Or I noticed in class you maybe were struggling with this type of problem, and allow me some extra time to spend supporting your child through this really unique education environment that we have this year. So it's also really important to know that this schedule is for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesdays is when we have the whole entire district home for remote learning. And that means that the students that are normally in hybrid and the students who are all remote are going to have the same switch times. So, this is going to be the first time we do this tomorrow. So, taking a look, you're going to see that my first switch class is for an hour, 7:15 to 8:15 tomorrow, as well as my second switch class is an hour, 9:45 to 10:45, and then my third switch class, 10:45 to 11:45. You'll also notice that there's time built in for iReady Path practice. You're probably familiar with your student using your child, excuse me, using this platform last year. And the iReady Path is really nice because it gives your child specific lessons and practice in areas that they are ready and need practice in. So this week they've been taking the diagnostic assessment. And once the results of that are calculated through the iReady system, they'll then be assigned lessons where they need. So again, you can see that there's time built in and they can split this time, use half of it for math, half of it for ELA, followed up by their lunch period is at 11:45. And then the math office hours that day are from 12:15 to 1:15. Now, depending on your child's homeroom, they might have specials during their math office hours or have specials during their ELA office hours. And I understand that that could be a little bit of a conflict, but don't worry because I am still available to help them if needed. But also, we have those office hours all week long. So if they can't make it on Wednesday, I am available all the other days of the week. So, again, talking about the office hours, just to go over it one more time, it's a block of time each day for students to reach out to me, as well as for me to reach out to the students, and I can provide some additional support. And it could just be through email. It could be maybe I want to set up a Google Meets where it's more, one on one, or maybe I just have a few kids in the group. So it's really nice to have that flexibility in our schedule to provide your child the assistance for whatever it is they need in math. Just some class expectations. Making sure that your child checks the Google Classroom daily directions under classwork each day. Even though I was out, I noticed that a lot of students just want to click that link on the main page, but it's really important that they look at the expectations that are posted each day, and the daily directions will be underneath the date for the day. Also, making sure that they attend the schedule meets when assigned, as well as completing their independent work when not working with a teacher. So there are going to be times where, our classes are over 20 students. So I'm going to maybe split the class where I'm working with 10 or 12 kids at a time, and the others will be working on an independent activity and then flip flopping. So it's just really important that, if they're asked to complete something independently, that they are working on it independently. And then also attending those small group times when scheduled. And as we mentioned, the iReady path. Making sure that if they're asked to do that, that they're going ahead and getting that practice in that they need. So, some meets expectations. And I know, parents, you guys have been such troopers, you and your kids. The technology aspect has been challenging at times. And I appreciate, you reaching out and letting me know when your child is struggling to log on to the meets or having some type of tech issue. But overall, if they can log in on time, if they can stay through the required meeting time until I release them. And again, you can see I understand those tech issues, and that email to me has been so helpful. Trying your best to limit distractions. So, making sure that they have a nice environment within the house where they can focus and do their best work. When they're on with me, if they could eliminate the TV, no music, if they could have their phones not near them, that would be really helpful. Also, making sure that all of their supplies to be successful in math class are nearby and ready to be used. The kids are great with understanding how to work the mute and unmute button, and also using the chat box to communicate. And hopefully, that they are also staying on topic, using that chat box and responding appropriately. Cameras hopefully should be working and on because I need to see the math work that they're doing. They might have to hold it up in front of the screen, or if I ask questions, I can see if they're raising their hands, and using some silent hand signals that they started using last year is going to be really helpful. So, again, making sure those cameras are on um, will be really valuable to our classroom experience. So, taking a look at the supplies, thank you to the families who picked up your remote learning bags. If you haven't already picked that up, make sure that you contact the main office to schedule a time to pick up those bags because there's a lot of really important supplies in there. So, making sure that their Chromebook is charged and ready to use during our meets is going to be very important. And I also do recommend headphones, not required, but that way it can maybe help the students focus in on me, but it also can cut back on the sound that I hear coming from their environment. There should also be two math workbooks that each child received. I highlighted volume one because that's where we're going to be starting in volume one. Also, everybody received a notebook in their remote learning bags. Again, you don't have to use the marble notebook that I supplied if your child has their own, but having a notebook where they can write down their work or a scratch paper is really valuable. Pencils and other writing utensils, also ready to go, nice and sharpened, will help us maximize our time together. And if your child has a whiteboard and a dry erase marker, I'm completely fine if that's where they want to, show their work during class as well. So, just as taking a look at the curriculum this year, so we are once again using the Ready Math Classroom series. They started with that in fourth grade at Main Road. And you can see that this year it's broken up into 5 units for fifth grade. So, we're going to be starting off the year going over volume as well as doing multiplication and long division. So, the multiplication is going to be finally multiplying how we were taught when we were younger, that standard algorithm. The division is not your typical long division just yet this school year. So, we are going to be looking at partial quotients in order to help develop the number sense behind division. And then you'll see that we move over into decimals and fractions, and we're going to be looking at place value and doing addition and subtraction. In Unit 3, we extend the operations with decimals and fractions, where we will be working with multiplication and division. Unit 4 is measurement, data, and geometry. So we'll be doing some converting of units, looking at how we can represent data in different types of graphs, as well as looking at geometry with classifying figures. On Unit 5, this is where we're actually going to finally introduce the students to order of operations and really pulling in some algebraic thinking. They're also going to be exploring that with coordinated grids as well as looking for patterns and relationships. So, again, this is just an overview of our curriculum. You do have access to our curriculum on the school's website, as well as if you look in your child's Volume 1 and Volume 2 math workbooks, you can kind of see the layout of the lessons and everything that we're going to do this school year. So here it says parent help. And again, parent involvement in your child's education is always encouraged. And again, I appreciate that support. I know your child appreciates it as well. I do want to ask that you check to see if something is marked independent before providing support, because that's going to help me really get an understanding of your child's level of understanding of the standard or concepts that I'm teaching. So if they're coming to you and you're helping them with all of the problems and it's something they turn in and I think that, oh, they've mastered this standard, it's not going to be a true representation and I won't be able to provide them with the extra support that they would need. So really, if you could, parents, if you notice your child struggling with something or you had to help them a lot, just reach out, but also just check it to see if it's something that is marked as independent before you provide too much assistance. Also, I encourage your child to reach out to me, email or through Google Classroom, and especially during those office hour times. I've noticed that while I was out, lots of great questions coming from my students, and I appreciate that they are open to asking these questions and looking for clarification. And I just hope that I can continue to encourage that, as well as you to encourage them to reach out as well. And this last one, this productive struggle. This is sometimes hard for parents because we don't want to see our child frustrated. But productive struggle is a really important process of learning. So you can see that it's the process of effortful learning, and it helps really to create that grit and creative problem solving. So we're really going to be looking at how we can have the students persevere through their math thinking, challenging them to think of math in a couple different ways. So again, even though they might feel frustrated, keeping an open mind or that growth mindset is going to help them as they learn our new concepts this year. So, you guys are very familiar with our grading system. We do use standards based grading, and you can see the letters on the side, as well as effort and work habits are evaluated separately from student work. So, again, standards based grading is really about the student's actual understanding of a skill. So, if you do have any questions about standards based grading from previous years, just reach out and hopefully I'll be able to answer any of your questions. And if not, please know that if I don't have the answer right away, I will always work hard to make sure I get you the right information or I point you in the right direction so that way you can get the answers that you're looking for. And finally, I did email this out to you guys. This is the technology support information. So I wish that I was really great at troubleshooting all of your tech issues. Um, Unfortunately, it's very difficult sometimes to do it through the computer, especially with my limited knowledge. But again, please take this phone number down, as well as that email address, or save it, the previous email, because it's going to be really important for helping us be successful this school year. Again, you might just have to leave your name, leave your child's name, make sure you specify Ritter School, as well as a number where they can get back to you. Also, I did send out the student parent information and tutorials in a spreadsheet because it offers a lot of help to parents and students about different types of programs that we're using and answers a lot of your questions. So if you just click this link in our presentation that I'll email out to you guys, you'll be able to access that again. And then finally, I know that this talks about if you have any questions that you can hop into the chat box. Unfortunately, I am not live tonight, so you can email me your questions. But I'll also look to set up a time in the future where I can hop on live and answer and support you and your students in any back to school night questions that you have. So, again, thank you, parents, for being so awesome starting this school year. Your support and encouragement has meant everything to me. I appreciate the resilience of your child or children, some of you, since we have started the school year. I know that, it hasn't been as smoothly as they're used to, but we're going to get there together. So, anything I can do to support you guys, please just reach out. And again, I want to remind you that tomorrow, Wednesday, is our first Wednesday schedule. So make sure that you check those times one more time so they know when to log on. And I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing your children through our video tomorrow. All right, families, thank you so much.